Hello students, I am Dr. P.C.Kambodia, Associate Professor in the Department of English, BSR, Government Arts College, Alwar, Rajasthan. This video is for the students of B.A.Part-2, English Literature, paper-1, Poetry and Drama. In this video, we discuss A.K.Ramanujan's poem, Obituary. Obituary means a death notice which is generally published in the newspapers. Obituary is written by a person himself when he is alive, and after his death the obituary or the death notice is published. Sometimes, when a person expires, his relatives get the obituary published. The agents of the newspaper publish the obituary at one place, and one page is generally fixed in the newspapers for it. Obituary may be published without photograph of the departed person or with the photograph of the departed person. In this case, the poem Obituary, the death note is not published by the protagonist, but it is someone else, maybe the relative of the departed person, who gets the obituary published. As we are told in the poem that the person who departed was a hot-minded person, and he left some dusty papers on his table. He was born by a caesarean operation and he expired in the fruit market. He left so many daughters unmarried and some debts, and he had a urinating son in his bed. He was named by the toss of a coin because the members of the family didn't agree for a common name. He left a house which was leaning towards one side, and in the corridor there were several trees. This leaning house reminds us of the leaning tower of Pisa in Italy. Then, when he was no more, his dead body was taken to the funeral station. At the funeral station, as the priests asked the members of the family, they did the rituals. They kept 2 coins at his closed eyes and placed the dead body on the pyre. Then the dead body was subjected to the pious flames of fire. At the 3rd day, from his ashes they recovered 2 coins from the sockets of his eyes. Those 2 coins were to be thrown into the river as the priests told them. Then his obituary was noticed by the protagonist's friend in a newspaper. That newspaper was given to the junk dealer after 4 weeks, and the junk dealers sold those newspapers to the small shopkeepers who sell generally the items of groceries like salt, coriander, and so many other items, and those newspapers are generally used in order to wrap the packets or to keep something in the conical form, and at such bindings the person who was poet's friend could read the obituary of the protagonist's father. This way, we come to know the poem Obituary, in which the temperament, mood, and some of the rituals of the death have been described. This poem, Obituary, also reminds us of the changed life of the protagonist's mother. As we know, that ladies are not allowed to wear colorful dresses and they are asked to wear white saris. So this could be one of the development which was there in the protagonist's mother's life. We come to the next poem, A River, by the same poet A.K.Ramanujan. The river flows at Madurai. This river is Vekai. And the poet says that other poets have been singing poems about the pious river, temples over there, and religious prayers that are offered to the images of gods and goddesses, but no one sings poem about the death, havoc, and destruction that the river Vekai causes at Madurai. So the poet A.K. Ramanujan takes this mission of singing about the death toll and other destructions that are caused by the river. He describes the river Vekai during the summer season. During this summer season, the river dries up and the bottom of the river is seen. There are ripples of sand. Wavy patterns of sand are there. Then the bridges which are constructed over this river are also seen. The patches of their repair and watermarks that have been left by the level of the water when the river flows fully are also seen. There are stones at the bottom of the river. Those stones, they shine because they have been polished by ever flowing water on them and they are slippery. The cattle in form of cows and buffaloes sit at the bank of this river. Then there is another life of the river, that is the alive life. That life is during the monsoon season. During the monsoon season, the river comes to its actual breathing. Earlier, it was dormant and now it is overflooded. The water level rises every inch. All those places which were meant for bathing, they are overflooded, and the staircases which lead to the water are also submerged in water totally. Then this river flows over the brinks and it caused the life of a lady who was about to bear child. Then this lady was to deliver two babies who were twins but they couldn't be delivered. The poet imagines so. And this is not the death of a single lady who was pregnant, but it is the case of three deaths as the poet imagines, because those twins were also there in her womb who were kicking the blank spaces. Then there were two cows. Those two cows were also submerged and lost their lives. And beside this, 3 houses got totally submerged and were flown into the river. This way, there is a terrible aspect of the river when it gets fully flooded. It causes a lot of havoc and destruction. The poet A.K.Ramanujan wants our attention to be paid to the destructive part of the nature during monsoon season, and such seasons are quite common every year. We see the floods in Bihar and in Bengal. But what to do? Overflooded rivers, they cause havoc and destruction everywhere. So there should be some permanent remedy for this, and overflowing water should be taken to the dams and should be used for constructive purpose. This is yet another message that is given by the poet to the readers. Thank you so much. We shall be taking some other poems in our next video class. The students may write critical summary of these 2 poems, A River and Obituary, and can send their answers to my email, that is cambodiapc@gmail.com. Thank you so much.